Got a great show for you guys today. Really, this podcast is going to be all just the NFL free agency frenzy. The NFL free agency frenzy. It's the start of the free agency portal right now, and a lot of things has went down. The start is crazy because before the start of the free agency, we had the Max Cosby trade to the Baltimore Ravens, which we got to talk about. That's probably the first thing we should get into. We got to also talk about the Raiders, some of the pieces that they picked up. You see, if you see the thumbnail, TV sucks. Tom Brady's been getting a lot of pushback from last year and what he did last year when it comes to hiring Pete Carroll, 1 year over with, Chip Kelly, half a season over with, and just the pieces you drafted Ashton Genty, but you don't put in the pieces that can block for him so he can actually be productive. Then that in that O line, so we're going to get into that. We're going to get into it's a lot of things. Kendall Walker going to the Chiefs and what that says about the Chiefs and what they how they see their team looking. Tua going to the Atlanta Falcons, come to the ATL, my favorite team. Um, Mike Evans, end of an era with the Bucks, start of a new one with the 49ers on a 3-year deal. So there's a lot of topics to talk about today, man. So I appreciate everybody that's coming in, that's gonna be rocking with me, watching me today. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe this video, get the likes up, and give your comment. Comment on your opinion on my takes. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to who teams picked up, do I agree with the pickup? Do I disagree with the pickup? Let me know. Do you agree with my take? If you disagree, like I always say, bro, good or bad, I appreciate it. Just somebody watching me, to me, that's love anyway. So I appreciate it. Um, but with all that being said, I don't like keeping y'all waiting. Like I always say, I don't like keeping y'all waiting. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about this Max Cosby and the Baltimore Ravens. So at first, I thought the Eagles were going to get Max Cosby. At first, I really did. I said the Eagles might get Max Cosby because I feel like they're the team. They have more to offer. Because at first, I thought the Raiders just wanted picks, but also a player that they can use to help them for the future. And I'm like the Eagles because you have Jalen Carter. The Eagles are not going to pay Jalen Carter no 40 to 45 million dollars. I don't care how good he is, bro. He's a headache. I don't think teams are going to invest that much money into him. I like him. He's a great player, but I don't see no team doing that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, they can give a first round pick, Jalen Carter, and a third round pick. I'm like, that'll get Max Cosby. Then you hear what the Cowboys gave him. The Cowboys gave him a first round pick, second round pick, and I don't know buddy name, but the D tackle, one of their starting D tackles, they said no to that because they standing 10 toes down on, hey, no, we want two first round picks. At first, I'm like, that's laughable. Two first round picks for Max Cosby is laughable. But they stood on it. No, we want two first round picks. If you can't give us two first round picks, we ain't talking to you. So if you're going to give us two first round picks, we can have a conversation. If not, bye bye. And the Ravens said, "Now, okay, we'll give you two first round picks." The Ravens were so desperate to have some production on the defense because the Ravens D line last year was one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL last year, and they was one of the worst sack teams in the NFL. They couldn't get to the quarterback at all consistently. Then they trade a dude mid-season, and he goes on to be productive with another team in OA. So the Ravens, they were struggling when it was trying to get to the when it comes to getting production off of sacking the quarterback. They couldn't get no sack production from anybody on that D line, and plus, their star D tackle was off the season too. You know what I'm saying, to give them a little pass. But next man up, somebody at least step up and show, yeah, I'm here too. And nobody did that to get to the quarterback consistently. That's why they lost games to like the Steelers twice. That's why they lost games to certain teams that would look like the Bengals because they couldn't get no pressure. They couldn't get to the quarterback consistently at all. They were one of the worst teams. They were up there with the 49ers. Teams like that, they didn't get no, they couldn't even touch the quarterback at all. So when you're a team like that and you're so desperate to find somebody that can consistently get to the quarterback, I'm not surprised they traded two first round picks. And you're taking on that massive contract because Max Cosby just got paid by the Raiders. So now you're taking on that massive contract, and I guess they don't care because they're like, dang, we couldn't find anybody last year that can consistently get to the quarterback. Now we have that guy and Max Cosby. I understand it makes sense, but I thought a team like the Eagles would try to bring in a guy like Max Cosby just because they had to me. I feel like they had a player that I think a team like the Raiders would be like, okay. we can build on Jalen Carter. Now he gonna need some advisors because he in Las Vegas. Gonna need somebody to watch over him and spy on him because he in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, trust me, Las Vegas is not Philly in a good way, but also in a way they can get you out the zone of being a football player, make you think you somewhere else when you really know you're in Las Vegas to play football. You're not in Las Vegas to have fun. After the season, you can have fun, but so when you're dealing with that, I thought they could bring in Jalen Carter and he can be the future of that team. But nah, he's gonna go. He's gonna obviously he's gonna go somewhere else because I'm here in Philly not trying to pay him 40 million. And they just paid Jordan Davis. But yeah, man, I think Max Cosby going to the Ravens is a good pickup. All the pressures on the Ravens, the pressures on Lamar. No, it's not. The Ravens have a new head way. They have a new head coach. They get a pass, man. When you get a new head coach, you get a pass. You know what I'm saying? Now we're hoping that the Ravens can get to the playoffs, but come on, y'all. We saw that defense. The Ravens defense was terrible last year. That's why they brought in Jesse Mentors. They brought in a defensive minded guy to rebuild that defense. Now you still have key pieces in Cal Hamilton and Roquan Smith and Monique Boo, whatever my boy name is, that was injured last year. Now you're bringing in Max Cobb. So you have four pillars for the future that can actually help you build on that defense. But besides that, everybody else was terrible, man. Terrible. Let's just be real. Secondary was terrible. Linebacker core was terrible. Roquan Smith had a down year last year. And then you look at the receiving core, you got to bolster that receiving core up too, man. They probably do that in the draft, but you got to bolster the receiving core. You kept Mark Andrews, but you got rid of Isaiah Likely. You let him go to the Giants so he could reunite with John Harbaugh. So I don't know, man. I like the pickup, but this pressure on Lamar, miss me with that. There's no pressure on Lamar, bro. There's no pressure on Lamar. There's no like, the, it doesn't. Nothing changes for Lamar, bro. Like it doesn't do nothing. I still look at Lamar, in my opinion, even though he had a down year this year, he's still a top five, the top 10 quarterback in his league, and I expect him to always be competitive every year, either win the division and win the playoff game. So it doesn't change anything for me. Now I think him having a new head coach and a new offense, it might be another down year. You know what I'm saying? For him to get right in the system. You know what I'm saying? To adjust to the system, but eventually, though, you give it a few games, though, the Ravens should be good, bro. Or what I'm saying might be BS, and they might start the season off, and he might just dominate like he did his first year with Todd Monken. So we've seen Lamar Jackson dominate no matter who's the OC. You know what I'm saying? So bringing in Max Cosby, now you got somebody that can dominate. But now when it comes to Max Cosby, can he stay healthy? That's the big thing with Max Cosby. It ain't that it isn't. Is Max Cosby a great player? We all know Max Cosby's a great player. Can he stay healthy? Because the man can't stay healthy. It's like we wasted two first round picks, just like the coach last year with Sauce Gardner. You waste two first round picks because you're banking on this guy. Can he be productive? Can he be somebody that can help us win games? And you look up and he hurt. He's hurt. And now you're like, damn, we could have kept on two first round picks and brought in some young players. We bringing this dude 28, 29, based on his history of being dominant. He come with us, he hurt all the time. He stay injured. Max Cosby, he's one of those dudes who stay injured sometimes. Now, he is the best player on the Raiders every year. That's a fact. But at the same time, now you come to the Ravens, we need you to be productive and stay healthy. They're gonna get a lot out of him. They're gonna get a lot out of him. I'm telling you, they are. He's gonna dominate. I know he should. He's gonna have a double-digit sack season. He's gonna have a couple of tackles. He's gonna have about 20 to 25 tackle for loss. Like he's gonna dominate, but can he stay healthy? Because if he can stay healthy, we know he's gonna be productive. We know he's gonna make the Pro Bowl. Might be an All Pro. But if he can't stay healthy, it's like, damn, bro. Now somebody else got to step up. Now you're banking on somebody else being productive that consistently get to the quarterback. So I'm banking. I think it's a good pickup for the Ravens. They gave up enough, in my opinion. They're desperate right now. Like I said, the Ravens last year, they had nobody can get to the quarterback. And we don't have nobody can get to the quarterback, you're never going to make the playoffs. I always say that, bro. If you don't have a D line that can consistently get to the quarterback, you're not going to the playoffs. You don't see teams that can't get to the quarterback consistently in the playoffs. That's cap. You don't see teams that's bottom five and sacks making the playoffs. That's cap. It's rare. The 49ers, that's rare. That's rare, bro. You don't see teams that can't get to the quarterback consistently winning playoff games. The 49ers, that's rare. That shows you that to me, that says more, that shows me and tells me more about the Eagles than it tells me about the 49ers. I mean, the Eagles are terrible. Because how do you lose to a team that can't even touch your quarterback? Even if they try, they can't even touch your quarterback. So that's how I look at the Ravens, man. They're so desperate to bulk up the D line. They had to give away 2 first round picks, and it makes sense, and it's gonna help them in the future. So, and that's good for them. To me, that's good for them. They need that, man. They need somebody that consistently get to the quarterback. Cause it doesn't matter how long Kyle Hamilton go cover his man. It doesn't matter if you can't. If nobody can get to the quarterback, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't. Somebody eventually going to get open. The quarterback can sit there all day. You know what I'm saying? Eat a cheeseburger, go take a shower, and nobody can touch him. Now he put his clothes back on and throw a touchdown on you. Like, what can you do as a D lineman? When nobody's getting pressure on your quarterback, what can you do as a D tackle? What can you do? What can you do as a middle linebacker when you're covering a running back and he's running all over the place trying to get up? What can you do? What can you really do? You can't cover him all. You can't cover him that long because eventually he's going to get open. Just the quarterback will run around in the pocket. You're gonna let the quarterback just start running for yards. So eventually somebody's going to get open. You need somebody that can get the ball, that can make the quarterback get the ball out of his hand. That opens up picks. That opens up turnovers for the team. And they think Max Cosby can do that consistently. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. And if he doesn't get hurt, I agree with them. I think Max Cosby can be that guy that gets turnovers and give Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry the ball back so they can score a touchdown. So I think that's a great pick. So we saw that before the start of the NFL draft. I mean, the NFL, I keep saying NFL draft, the NFL free agency frenzy. Now, to start off the NFL free agency frenzy, whew, we had a lot of deals made. And one of the first deals that was made was backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Malik Willis, getting a 3-year deal with the Miami Dolphins, reuniting with his former defensive coordinator, Jeff Hadley. They're familiar with each other. We all know in those practices, the backup usually plays against the starters. He gives them the look of what they should expect going against the team week to week, their opponent. So now he's going there. And Malik Willis, to me, I like him. Now it's only, bro. We've only seen a few games of him, bro. Like with the Packers, and he's looked good, but it's a small sample size. You feel what I'm saying? It's really just a small sample size. We haven't really seen him like a full, I'll say, 14 to 17 week span of playing. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that. We really seen like last year was like 3 games, and this year like 3 or 4 games. So it's like what 7 games we've seen him, and he's looked good. Probably had one bad game against the Ravens. I'm gonna call it. We can say that was a bad game, but besides that, he looked pretty good. And now he's going to the Dolphins to be their starting quarterback for the future or for the next 2 to 3 years. And if you ask me, I think it's a good pickup for him. You know what I'm saying? But you're banking if you're the Dolphins, bro, you're in a win-win situation because if he sucks, you're going to be in the top of the draft next year. But if he's good, now you know we have the quarterback of the future, and now we can build on our defense. Now we can bring in other players to help our quarterback succeed and get us to the Super Bowl. So you're in a win-win situation because if he sucks, you can just get rid of him or just keep him to be the backup because he's used to being the backup and draft the future pick or draft the top quarterback of next year's draft and Archie Manning and Sellers and Moore, whoever's the top dude. You're being that range to pick that guys. So you're in a win-win situation as the Dolphins. Now for Malik Willis, you got the money. Now it's time to prove it. It's time to prove it. It's time to prove it, bro. You're starting quarterback now. No excuses. And I think Malik Willis is gonna to me, I compare him with Miami. I think he's gonna have a tender like Tyrod Taylor had with the Bills, man. Where they were always middle of the pack team, always like an inch close to making the playoffs. They're probably like the last team to get eliminated. They're always middle of the pack, 8-8, 7-9. Then they eventually got over the hump. I think that's how Malik Willis is gonna be with the Dolphins, man. I can see them making the playoffs 1 or 2 years with him, but always be in the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? 9-8. You know, I'm 7-10, or I can see 10-7 with him because the reality is they're going to be more of a running team because you got Achane, who's a dog, one of the best running backs in the game, had a great year last year. So you got a dog in Achane, and you got Malik, who's a very mobile quarterback, hit him with that play action. You got Waddle. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like they probably draft a wide receiver or add more wide receivers to the wide receiver room, but you have the pieces to help Malik Willis win games. Now all he has to do is go out there and just win the games. But I feel like the Dolphins, they're gonna put him in position to where he should be successful. And now he has to go out there, he has to prove it. But if he shits the bed, you're still in a good position if you're a Miami Dolphins team because now you put yourself in position to get one of the top quarterbacks of the next year draft, who's everybody telling us one of the best quarterback drafts since they always say since what 2023, what 2024. So if you put yourself in that position as the Miami Dolphins, like I said, you're in a win-win situation. Now if Malik Willis is good, now you could just add more pieces to help him out. But if he's bad now, you can say bye-bye, or we just make you the backup because you're used to that, and you draft the future. So good, man. I like him with the team. You know what I'm saying? He get a fresh new start. A lot of people was hating on him when he was with the Houston Titans. I mean, he was with the Tennessee Titans. In my opinion, me personally, I wasn't hating on him. I just thought I didn't see an NFL quarterback with liberty. It's just hard for me to believe that you could go from Auburn, SEC school, you got beat out by Bo Nix. Then you go to Liberty in more of a college friendly, quarterback friendly scheme that you flourished in, you dominated in. Then you got to NFL and you look like you couldn't even throw the ball, bro. You look like you never played quarterback in your life. You look like you didn't even belong in the NFL. But then when you went to the Packers, you was like, okay, now you look pretty good. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. Okay, he looks way better. He looked way better than he did with the Titans. But credit to the Packers because they developed him better than Tennessee did. But they let you know Tennessee looked at him as an experiment. They didn't look at him as somebody, oh, we can develop him. They looked at him as, okay, we're going to take a chance on him, try to develop him. But if it don't work out, he can just be a backup. The Packers said, nah, we can actually develop this kid. And if Jordan Love goes down, we can put him in and we'll still be good. And he looked pretty good. I think he won more games than he lost, so he deserves the money. But like I say, but can it translate to not only just you winning 5 to 6 games in the season, but now since you're the starting quarterback, that means if you stay healthy, you're going to be the quarterback for 18 weeks, 17 games. Can you consistently win games? Can you consistently outplay, outduel the quarterback on the other side? Can you consistently keep your team out of harm's way? Can you consistently win games with your arm and occasionally with your legs? And if he can do that, I think he'll be good. But if he can't, go back to being a backup. Because it's not a lot of film on him. And we know what the saying is. Once a team get that film on you, that's when we know who you really. That's when we know who you really are. That's when we know who you really are. Because now, once that film out on you, and you still can't, and now you can't be productive as you were before the film got on you. Now we know, he's not there. He's not really that good. Because it shouldn't matter the film on you. You still should be productive. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Big Ben, didn't matter. Yes, it was film on those guys. These guys still they still were productive. So now that people have some film on Malik Willis, can he still be productive? And time will tell. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I can't tell you yes or no. I don't know. It's only a small sample size. But I believe with the Dolphins and what they're bringing to the table, with Waddle, with Warren, they got to keep Darren Warren, bro. What's my boy name? Ain't it Darren? Ain't it Darren? What's the tight end name? Somebody tell me, bro, if you watch it, what's the tight end name? Dolphin tight end. Hold on, bro. Dolphins tight end. What's my boy name? No, that ain't him. I don't care about him. Darren Waller. Yeah. They better resign Darren Waller. There's no way for them not to resign Darren Waller, bro. You bring Waller back, bro, come on, bro. He can be Malik Willis' safety net. Darren Waller still got some he still got some juice left, bro. He can ball, bro. He's still balling. Even with Tua was terrible. He was terrible, but he got a lot out of Darren Waller. He got a lot out of on and Jalen Waddle too. So now you bring Malik Willis there too with those weapons, and plus they got another tight. I think they re-signed the tight end, if I'm just mistaken. Yeah, they re-signed Greg Ducey to a 1 year deal, 3.2 million. But he more of a backup tight end, block tight end. Like I said, he not coming back. Yeah, Darren Waller not coming back. Yeah, I'm reading it right now. It's his veteran who played in 2025. His return for the 2026 wasn't down as of the combine. So yeah, he threw. He threw. So they're probably, you know what I'm saying? The free agency period just started. So they'll probably end up picking somebody else. Yeah, they'll probably find somebody else by day 2 or 3 to be the figurehead or the top guy for the tight end room. But I like I said, I don't. It's a good pick. It makes sense. You give him Malik Willis a chance to prove that he can be a starting quarterback in this league, just like Justin Fields. Justin Fields got opportunity. He failed. Malik Willis getting opportunity. Let's see. And then you know how people are, and especially when a black quarterback gets the opportunity, we just love to just go overboard and make it seem like, oh, it's big news. It's really not, bro. It's nut up or shut up. I ain't gonna lie. People in Miami don't care if the quarterback black or white. Can you win games? Straight up, straight like that. Atlanta don't care. We don't care if Tua or we don't Tua, who I think is Polynesian and Hawaiian or one of those. And then we got Penix, who black. Falcon fans don't care. We had Matt Ryan for almost 14, 15 years. Michael Vick for 5 years. We don't care, bro. Can you win games? Period, point blank. Can you come to Atlanta and win games? And that's what Miami care about. Can Malik Willis go there and take what we saw in Green Bay and bring it to Miami? That's all the Miami fans care about. What you what you did in Green Bay, can it translate to the Miami Dolphins? And if it can, we love you. If it can't, we booing you. And thank you, because after this season, 2027, we have a top pick. So that's my thoughts on that. Let's move on to another peak place. Hold on, y'all. I'm on. Shout out to Forever Football. Follow him on Instagram, man. Make sure y'all follow Forever Football on Instagram, bro. Great news. He quick with it too. He update his channel all the time, bro. So he keep everybody in tune. Let me get into it. Let me find another pick. Oh yeah, Tua with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm quick with it. I'm gonna be quick with the Tua and Atlanta Falcons. Man, look, when it comes to Tua and the Atlanta Falcons, the main reason why Tua is coming to Atlanta is because he's left-handed. Michael Penix is left-handed. Now you got two quarterbacks who are left-handed. It's hard sometimes going for a left-handed to right-handed quarter, from a left-handed quarterback to a right-handed quarterback. I know the Falcons made it look easy, but it's difficult, especially on your wide receivers. But it just shows you how great Drake London and our wide receiver core was, and Kyle Pitts and them. But they're used to it though, because they're used to playing with Kurt and Kyle. But now you're good now. You don't got to worry about, because the ball's going to come out the same way when it comes to left-handed, because everybody know the ball comes out differently when you're catching the ball from a left-handed passer to a right-handed passer. So now it's gonna all be the same. It's depending on how strong they throw the ball, because we know Tua's accurate. He's one of the best accurate passers in the game. But we know Michael Penix, he has a stronger arm than Tua. He throws a better deep ball than Tua. But Tua, he's way more accurate passer. He has better accuracy in my opinion than Penix. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, I'm quick on that. To everybody, oh my God, why we got Tua? Because he's left-handed, bro. That's why it's simple. He's left-handed. Makes sense. Like what? Penix is the future. If you saw what Matt Ryan said at the press conference, he's confident that Michael Penix could lead Falcons to success. And I'm confident Michael Penix can too. This is last year that I'm giving him a shot. So I'm quick on these quarterbacks, bro. I'm quick on these quarterbacks. You and JJ McCarthy are the only two quarterbacks that have made the playoffs in your class. Everybody else has made the playoffs and won a playoff game. Let me say that. Bo Nix has made it twice. Jaden Daniels has made it once. Caleb Williams has made it a couple of times. So you and JJ McCarthy, the only two quarterbacks out of y'all class that haven't even sniffed the playoffs. So it's nut up or shut up. Come on, bro. Let's make the playoffs this year. Let's win a playoff game. But see, my expectations, I'm not gonna put them too high because when you put your expectations too high, you be unrealistic. I'm not gonna be unrealistic. I'm gonna be realistic. Let's just get to the playoffs. The team that won our division won 8 games. We won 8 games. Do you realize if we would have beat Miami and if we would have beat Miami and the Jets, we would have made the playoffs? We still lose to Carolina twice. Cool. They sweep us. All we had to do was beat Miami and the Jets. Two of the worst teams. Miami beat us and they went on a winning streak when we should have spanked them and kept them on a losing streak. The Jets sucked, but they beat us. We're one of the worst defense and secondaries of all time. So, bro, like, mm-mm. My expectations, like, my expectations are realistic. Like, come on, bro, make the playoffs. That's all you got to do. I'm sorry I had to recap that. You know what I'm saying? I had to go back down that lane, but it's like, come on, bro. We gotta make the playoff this year. You bringing in Tua, we gotta make the playoff this year. We got to. And in my because we haven't really done that much in free agency. But I think we hear more about the Falcons probably tomorrow and Thursday. And Wednesday, my bad. We'll probably hear more about them tomorrow and Wednesday because they really don't need too much, in my opinion. But a D tackle, and I'm hearing about the Franklin and Myers D tackle from the Jets, he actually is a pretty good D tackle, and he really helped the Falcons when it comes to getting to the quarterback because the closest way you can get to the quarterback is in the middle of the field. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody that can be a great run stopper, but also can consistently create pressure and get to the quarterback. So we gotta fill that spot in. But everything else we're pretty good at. We just gotta be able to put it all together and win some games. So that's my thoughts on the Falcons for right now. We'll talk about them tomorrow if they do something that's worthy of talking about. Next, let's get into Pittsburgh Steelers now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Rico Dowdle. They let Gainwell walk. Gainwell went to the Bucks, but they keep Rico Dowdle. They bring in Rico Dowdle, who had a great year with the Panthers until after they started going with Chuba Hubbard, and stopped going with him. Now he go to the Pittsburgh. Now him, Tyler Warren, and Caleb Johnson. Now that three, they all share the backfield. That should be very, very productive. And then you trade for Michael Pittman coming from the Colts. They say bye bye to him, and then you pay him some money to come to the team and extend him. Pittsburgh, they're smart. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Let me tell you why. Now you bring in somebody like a Rigo Dow that can run the ball, and he had a great year. He had a great couple of games where he was rushing over 100 yards. He was dominating. Went against his former team, Cowboys, spanked them. Went against the Falcons, put a spanking on us. So he's consistently shown that he can be a lead back and get you over 100 yards per game. So now you have somebody that can take pressure off Aaron Rodgers because now he could hand the ball off and just watch. And just watch Art and watch Dowell just run over dudes, juke dudes, and gain yards. Now, all that Aaron Rodgers, now you don't got to do too much. And then you bring in two veteran wide receivers. You brought in DK last year. Now you bring in Pittman. They both paid. You got them for the next couple of years. Come on, now you have. To be honest with you, I look at both of them as twos in my opinion. I think Michael Pittman probably would be more productive as the number one than DK Metcalf. In my personal opinion, I feel like if you make Michael Pittman your number one, that'll open it more. They'll open it up for DK Metcalf more, create more one-on-ones. And I think that's why they're doing it. They're both to me twos, but now you just can't. If you double team one, you're gonna leave your other DB on the island because both of these guys are two physical wide receivers. They're both over 6'4". So now you got two tall guys. You got Firemouth, who's still a good tight end. Darnell Washington, he'll come back from a elbow injury. So they got the pieces. Now you bring in Aaron Rodgers, to take pressure off him. You put pieces around him to where now he don't have to do too much. Just get the ball out my hand and let my skill players go to work. So that's my thoughts on that, man. Let's see what else going on in man free agency right now. Hold on, man. Why they keep kicking me out? Devin Lloyd signed to the Panthers. Panthers signing everybody right now. They just got Devin Lloyd. They just got what's my boy name? With the Eagles. Let me go to him. Oh, yeah, they just got Jalen Phillips. So yeah, they're trying to bulk up their defense. They're trying to bulk up their defense. They're also one of those teams too that they can't consistently get to the quarterback, and their middle linebacker course are just kind of a little suspect. But now you bring in Devin Lloyd, who had a highly productive season with the Jaguars last year. I'm surprised the Jaguars ain't re-sign him, but they also knew that the market for him was actually strong, and they probably wouldn't be able to afford to keep him though. So you just let him walk, which makes sense. And now you bring in Jalen Phillips, who also came out had a down year, but for somebody that can't that is coming off injuries, he was very productive also, and he got a big back too. So you build off that. You still got J.C. Horn. You still got Williams on the other side. So they have the pieces to be successful. Let's see what they do on offense. They haven't really done nothing on offense yet, but hopefully they do because they broke up that O line some more, in my opinion. And even though I do like Coker, Leggett, and McMillan, you can't go wrong with getting another wide receiver. So and a running back. And a running back. Watch out for Joe Mixon to the Panthers. Mixon to the Panthers. Joe Mixon to the Panthers. And they just one of the main reasons why Nico Dowell production went down is because his carries went down. Is because they paid Chuba Hubbard too. And once they paid Chuba Hubbard, that showed me that, like I keep telling y'all, if they're gonna pay these running backs 18 plus million, you're gonna get a buck of the load. And it's not going to be 30 carries and you got 15, and then your running back duo, he got 15. The other guy, he got 15. No, you're going to get 25. The backup gets 5. Period. It's just like that, bro. Just like that. Period. You get 28, he get 2. Third and long, we bring him in. But if we're going to pay you guys 20 to 18 to 20 to $25 million a year as a running back, you're going to get the majority of the load. You're going to get majority of the carries. Period, point blank. You're going to catch the ball out of the backfield majority of the time. Because it doesn't make sense to pay you that much money just for you to share the backfield with somebody else. It just doesn't make sense. That's why Tyler Allgeier is going to Arizona. I think the Falcons, they should have traded him before the deadline. Got some picks for him because he is a good back. But to be honest with you, it's not that he's a bad quarterback. It's not that he's a bad running back. It's just the fact that Bijan Robinson is just way better than him. And he's so good that you can't take him off the field. He's proven that you can't take him off. He can block. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a great route runner. He's a great catcher. He's a great catcher. He can run when it comes to zone. When it comes to running between the tackles, he's just good at everything. He's good at everything to a point where the Falcons have to pay him about $20-something million a year. They're going to have to because he's that good. And not saying that Tyler Allgeier is not good, but at the same time, Bijan, in my opinion, he's worth more right now. He's worth more. And if we're gonna pay him a lot of money, like we're paying Christian McCaffrey and the Derrick Henrys, his butt gonna have 30 carries a game. So that's what's going on. What else is going on in the game? What else is going on? Mike Evans. Let's get into it. Mike Evans. Mike Evans leaves. Now he's going to the 49ers after a 12-year stint with the Bucks. And it's sad. It's sad. I'm happy though, because he's out of my conference. I'm happy. He might be he's out of my division. I'm happy. Bye-bye. He's not in NFC South no more. Go bring some trauma. Go take that trauma that you done brought me and go ahead and take that to the NFC West, man. Go bring them their fans trauma. Cause he brought me a lot of trauma, bro. How he's destroyed AJ Terrell all the time, bro. Now go cook up the NFC West teams and go cook their cornerbacks up. But I'm happy for him though. He got a big bag. That lets you know he's still fresh because a lot of guys that's like going to say 13th, 14th year, a lot of teams not really giving him no 3-year deal. But see, it's really not a 3-year deal because it's flexible enough for them to get rid of him if they wanted to after the first year. But for a team to still give him a 3-year deal shows you that teams look at Mike Evans as somebody that still can be productive and somebody that still could be a wide receiver that you have to account for on a game-to-game basis. So it's a good thing with him. I think he'll probably be the number one or two. I know they like Pearsall very well, but by the time we'll see. Because right now I don't think they have a number one. I don't think they have one, but I think they'll figure it out by through the week to week. I think they'll figure out and then they'll solidify that, and that's the guy they go to consistently. But I expect him to be productive. I expect him to have a couple of touchdowns, probably 5 to 7 touchdowns, probably get over 1,000 yards. Cause Brock Purdy will sling that thing around. And I think he'll have a good year with the 49ers. I think he'll be very productive with them. I think he'll eventually be the number one because I like Pearsall. But I think Mike Evans, he's just consistent when it comes to just getting his man off the ball, gaining separation, just dominating. We've seen that consistently. I think going to the 49ers, that won't change. And I think he'll be good, bro. And I think going to Kyle Shanahan with his offensive mind and how he scheme up plays, I think they're good. So congrats to Mike Evans. Guys, I appreciate everybody that watched me today. That's all for today. We will be back tomorrow to talk about day 2 of the NFL free agent frenzy. So I appreciate y'all. Before I get out of here, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to this video. I will get the clips out. I will get the shorts out. So be on the lookout for that. And that's all for today. See you guys tomorrow. It's the Football Den, and we out.